2. I support Trump's balanced, compassionate, common-sense proposal to solve the immigration problem. 1. Amnesty, i.e. green cards for illegal immigrants who arrived long ago as innocent children and have committed no serious crimes, so-called dreamers. 2. Giving them a 12-year path to U.S. citizenship. 3. Greatly increased border security to eliminate further illegal arrivals. This includes building a Great Wall along large portions of the southern border. 4. Ending chain migration. 5. Ending the visa lottery. The Democrats want 1 and 2, but reject 3 to 5, which I find absurd because most dreamers don't care about 3 to 5. They just want green cards. That what the Democrat Party leadership really wants is not to liberate the Dreamers, but to gain their votes. However, this will backfire on the Democrats when the Republicans set the Dreamers free over the Democrats. The opposition, large numbers of the Dreamers will vote Republican, as they should. Have you ever spoken to an illegal immigrant? Ever in your life? No, they're not. They're not voting Republican. That's not your fucking demographic. Your demographic is old white people, because they're 90% of the voting base already. Number 3. I staunchly oppose all electronic voting machines. 100% of voting should be done on paper ballots. The machines are made by companies owned by the global elites, and the computer source code in them is kept secret. Why keep it a secret? Okay, this is a big thing to unpack. Okay, so it's like, if they have these wild control over the fucking voting things, then what makes you think that your paper vote even fucking matters? What makes you think it isn't just going into a goddamn shredder in the building? Right? Because it's this constant theme where it's like, oh, the global elites are using modern technology. No, they don't fucking need that. If they exist, they don't need it to be electronic. They'll take your ballots that got sent in, and they'll just throw them into a river, and they'll elect whoever they want. Right? I don't get this shit. Because the code contains secret black doors through which the elite globals remotely manipulate the machines to show false vote counts. Why the fuck would they need to do that? If they control the government, why the fuck would they need to do that? Whatever. Thereby controlling local, state, and national elections. This completely, and I should say, I don't have a tinfoil hat. I don't think there's a global elite. I just think William's retarded. This completely undermines the voting rights of we the people. It compromises reason, treason, and tyranny. It's the main reason that the Democrats won control of the House of Representatives in 2018. Trump's 2016 victory occurred by divine intervention that suppressed the voting machine fraud to the horrific chagrin of the evil uniparty who, in Trump's word, never thought she would lose. Oh, so that explains a lot of my bitching. He thinks there was divine intervention. Fuck. Okay, what? You know what? Fucking maybe Williams, right? Maybe there's... Fuck it. He's got his fucking potholes covered. 4. There were 2 and only 2 genders, female and male, which are determined by the development of the fetus prior to birth. Gender is expressed not only by the external sex organs, but also by the chromosomes in every cell and by the shape of the brain. The duality of gender is fundamental to the operation of this universe, as fundamental as the duality of the electron and the proton. The transgender movement is funded by the global elites to undermine the foundation of our society. Surgery on a child to create the external appearance of the opposite gender should be a felony, gross mayhem by the doctor and the parent who consents to it. I'm so glad I don't care about transgender shit. I'm so glad. People get so heated about this topic. I don't fucking care. And I feel like by not caring, I'm like pro-transgender in a way, right? Because a lot of times they just want to be treated like normal, and I don't treat them any different. If you've been to my Discord, the main mod there, Sora, she or whatever is transgender. I don't fucking care. I'm not trying to fuck every single human. You could be transgender if you want. I don't give a shit. Also, have surgery if you want. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I mean, I think it should be safe, and if you want to do it, if you're my friend, I will say otherwise. But if you're a random person, I don't give a fuck what you do. Surgically implant a tail coming out of your ass. I don't care. Fuck it. Number 5. My views on abortion are unusual. Because I know the truth of reincarnation, I reject the notion that God creates each soul at conception or at any time during fetal development. Our souls and minds were created by God anciently and have lived through many, many physical incarnations, i.e. lifetimes, both animal and human. Contrary to the belief of most atheists, the mind is not a phenomenon in the brain. The brain is an interface between the mind and the physical body. The pre-existing soul and mind capture the fetal body, which is born and lives a lifetime. The time of death, the soul and mind release the body. Hence, the pivotal question is one that is rarely, if ever, asked in the abortion debate. To wit, when during pregnancies do the soul and mind capture the fetus? I believe it varies from one case to the next, and also that capture process might be gradual, rather than instantaneous. It appears to me that if neither soul nor mind has yet captured the fetus, abortion would be harmless. But if the fetus has been captured by his soul and mind, then abortion is a form of murder. This raises a crucial legal question. In the case of a particular pregnancy, at the time of a proposed abortion, has the fetus yet been captured? Fuck me, this sounds weird. I oppose abortion unless this question can be reasonably answered in the negative. Note, for additional reasons independently of the foregoing ethical and legal analysis, I oppose Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was organized for the specific and extremely racist purpose of reducing/minimizing the black population, and Planned Parenthood is controlled by the Uniparty. Planned Parenthood fucking what now? Abortion as black genocide inside the black anti-abortion movement. I can't even find online anything else about this. What the fuck is he talking about? Fuck it. I don't even know. The closest I could find is people saying, like, it's to enhance well-off breeding, and that people that are less privileged to have abortions more, but that's saying that every black person's, like, worse, or, like, the black people are worse off, that's why they abortion more. Is that what you're saying, William? Are you saying black people are poor? Are you saying black people are hoodlums? Whatever, I'm reading too far into it. I don't think it actually means anything. 6. I oppose laws that criminalize the exchange of sex for money between mutually consenting adults without force or fraud. I believe prostitution should be an honorable career choice for women and an honorable way for men to get their needs met. Jailing people for this is crazy. The many arguments claiming that prostitution is harmful or evil are each readily debunked. In reality, prostitution relieves a sexual frustration that bends the minds of many men and drives some of them to commit real sex crimes, including sexual assault and rape. Prostitution reduces the rate of such crimes, therefore protecting women and girls. Isn't that just not right? Isn't that just insanely incorrect? I think that's a defense for porn, and probably a real one, but I've not looked too far into it, but I'm like 99.9 repeating % sure that prostitution most definitely does not drop sex crime rates. Maybe I'm wrong, but does the legalization of prostitution actually do that? I would think to the contrary. Performing brain surgery is not for everyone, but it pays well, and many doctors who do it enjoy their work. Likewise, prostitution is not for everyone, but it pays well, and many women who do it enjoy the work. You know, I've not met a lot of prostitutes. In fact, I've met 0. But I feel like that's just never true. I don't think there's ever a prostitute that's like, ooh, girls, I'm excited to go fuck some overweight, sweaty, middle-aged dick. Oh yeah, and get paid mediocre? Have someone above me take the majority of the cut? Ooh. I don't think anyone's like crazy for it. It's a really shit job for someone that's at rock bottom and oftentimes can't find work anywhere else. And they are miserable. It's a rough, awful job. I don't know. I oppose laws that criminalize simultaneous marriage to more than one person who are all involved, mutually consent, and there is no force or fraud. Plural marriages do present significant family law changes regarding children, evidentiary privileges, interstate inheritance, and other matters, and legislators of different states can address these challenges in different ways. But jailing people merely for engaging in such a relationship is absurd, particularly when everyone in the relationship loves it. And if someone is unhappy in a plural marriage, the solution is precisely the same as in an unhappy monogamous marriage. Get a divorce. I feel like it's because it has tax reasonings behind it, right? We don't have legislation in place for how to deal with taxing or how to deal with stuff like that for monogamous relationships, monogamous marriage. But yeah, I don't care either. I mean, I'm pretty libertarian. I don't fucking care. Do whatever you want. But yeah, whatever. I kind of agree with him. I mean, I for the most part agree with 7. I don't think it's that crazy. The global warming, aka climate change agenda, is based on the greatest scientific fraud in history. Oh, fuck. Alright. And to wit, the concept of the human activity is generating excessive amounts of carbon dioxide, which in turn is increasing or decreasing global temperatures. That concept is entirely false. Environmental, energy, and mining issues are extremely complex and colossally important. They're extremely complex scientific matters that you don't have the know-how to actually go about making statements like this, but you're saying them anyways. These complex issues have been co-opted by the Uniparty to perpetuate vast frauds upon our human civilization. Guilty scientists and guilty policymakers have received vast sums of money for perpetuating this fraud. Innocent liberals, including most liberal scientists, have swallowed the bait. The hook, line, and the sinker. The scientific truth is that climate change is caused almost entirely by changes in the sun, which experiences an approximately 60-year cycle of gravitational beats from its 2 most massive planets, Jupiter and Saturn, Suspected orbits are about 12 years and 30 years, the least common multiple of which is 60 years, and B, the 24,000 year precession of the Earth's rotational axis. So gone for millions of years, has nothing to do with human activity, carbon dioxide, or so-called greenhouse gases. I have a weird opinion about climate change, and I should say that I'm not a scientist, and therefore my opinion isn't real and shouldn't impact anyone. But there were times of the globe heating and the globe cooling, right? And I feel like whenever I try to look even to like peer-reviewed scientific journal type things, they don't compare our scientific heating to that of other scientific, that of well-studied scientific heatings that happened before there was any sort of impact that humans have now. And they oftentimes just say, oh, this is how much hotter this year was compared to last year, or this year compared to this year 100 years ago. They don't actually impact how hot things were getting while other global heating events were happening. So I'm kind of weird about global warming too. I've not done enough research to really form a real opinion, and if there are resources about it, all these videos are actually kind of not doing well. If there's anyone that actually knows about that, I'd appreciate some sort of link, because I actually wasn't able to find any when I was trying to. And also, a lot of the stuff about global heating doesn't have information. Like, global warming is often cited in very short time periods, but global heating is cited in very long time periods, so you can't really compare the data very much by different examples. So I've kind of struggled, and if anyone knows how to work like academic databases better than I was able to, then I would appreciate it. Tune back next time for another episode of Operation Fuck William. Did you have any idea how many people, how many industrial engineers, just because they had a fucking afternoon, can show you mathematically how it got burned?